there is a monster-sized shadow drop that has once again risen to the top of the conversation. Now, originally, this was brought to our attention by Ecstasies, who, of course, is a Spanish YouTuber, and he is well connected. Well, this post comes from someone who has been on this channel before, who is literally Mr. Gears of War himself. No, I'm not talking about Crispy Bomb, but they do know each other very well. I'm talking about Shadows with a Z. SASXS Shadows on Twitter. He is not only partnered with, of course, the coalition, he is also Mr. Gears of War. Well, he posted something, and I have to talk about it because the rumor that is running right now, ladies and gentlemen, is that at the June showcase, which of course is not going to be an in-person event, and I'm very saddened by that, but I'm going to be doing a live stream and covering it before, while the show is happening, and of course after here at Double Barrel Gaming. The new shadow drop, or the rumored shadow drop, is of course Gears of War, the Marcus Phoenix collection. Now, you've heard me and C talk about this specifically, but it has now once again garnered some serious oomph. And like I said, folks, it's being redone in Unreal Engine 5. We just saw what happened when they shadow dropped Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, redone in Unreal Engine 5. We just saw Oblivion remastered, shadow dropped in Unreal Engine 5. Right before that happened, we got the rumor. Basically, I would even dare say it's confirmed that Fallout 3 is getting the remastered / remake that you saw with Oblivion. Same fresh coat of paint using Unreal Engine 5. That is rumored to be dropping second half of the year. Well, now, see money, we're talking about potentially a fourth shadow drop happening right at this June's showcase. And that, in fact, is going to be the Marcus Phoenix collection. See money. I'm getting goosebumps because I remember playing the first Gears of War on the Xbox 360 with my brother Neo Mental, and we rolled credits on all three games, and we used to do it almost every year. Because, but obviously, with our lives being, we're now adults, it's difficult to set that up. But we have already declared that even if we have to stay up to the wee hours of the morning, which old men don't normally do, we're gonna play through this and roll credits on all three games. We are as excited as F. I want to get your thoughts, but before I get your thoughts, let me just read the tweet as it was posted again by Shadows on YouTube, on Twitter. It says, Spanish gaming YouTuber Ecstasies has once again reaffirmed that the Gears of War collection will in fact be announced at the Xbox Game Showcase on June 8th with a 2025 release date, making it the first title in the franchise to see a multi-platform release across both Xbox Series X and S, PS5 and PS5 Pro, and PC and Steam. This is expected to launch day and date, just like Ninja Gaiden, just like Oblivion. It's expected to not only shadow drop potentially, that's the running rumor, at this June's showcase, but it's going to be releasing on every platform. Now, I don't know, at some point does this come to the Nintendo Switch, but see money, this is and could be another, would be the fourth shadow drop of the year if this comes to fruition. Bro, this is crazy.
Bro, Xbox has so many freaking studios, bro. Like, they have so many studios that the amount of games that they have in the pipeline allows them to just say, you know what, this one, just drop it. The name alone will carry it. We don't need any hype for this. And they've done it every time, and every time has been a success, right? They 100% have nailed it every time. If Fallout does the same later on, it will have the same effect, right? These are all big name things. Gears of War, oh my God, if that were to drop during the summer showcase and it launches everywhere, PlayStation Store wouldn't know what to do with itself. Like they wouldn't.
Absolutely agree.
It wouldn't. Bro, it's crazy how they have made it so Xbox games are the most desired games in the industry. Like pound for pound, like for like scale of games, right? Not just like a one-off, like a Grand Theft Auto, right? It's not like just we just want that one game that means the world to us. No. Microsoft now is in the privileged position to be the most sought after freaking publisher of games. Like every game they have, everybody just wants it, bro. And it takes me back to all the years of hearing ponies tell us that Xbox games were trash and PlayStation games were the best games. And when it comes down to it, the only games that are being talked about, the only games that people are excited about are Xbox games.
Yeah.
They can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. This is a phenomenal turn of events if we do in fact end up with these 4 shadow drops. That would be crazy because we technically got 2 so far. Both of them nailed it. So if we get Gears, I mean, compared to Halo's always my first love. So when it comes to Xbox, Halo's number 1. I think people who prefer Gears are typically people who probably started their Xbox journey with Gears versus Halo. I would assume. I can't see how you can look at it any other way. But either way, Halo definitely comes first. But Gears is right there, man. I remember the first Gear. What they need to do, if this is real, you know how they have to announce it? They have to do a remake of the Mad World trailer.
Oh, bro. Yeah.
That is how you announce the trilogy, bro. Can you imagine if you get a remake of the Mad World trailer and it's all done up in, obviously the new engine? Yo, that would be wild. That would be crazy. Oh my God. That would be amazing. Jesus. But yeah.
Could you imagine I'd love to say sitting in the audience, and I'm really going to miss that this year, that they're not going to have the in-person, fan event that they had last year that I was a part of. I was ass in seat when that Gears of War E-Day trailer, and everyone just went bonkers, right? But just imagine for a second, and I like what you're putting down here because I think it would hit in a way that would be unbelievable. Everyone that remembers the Gears of War announcement always harkens back to the music video where it's the Mad World, right? It's a Mad World track. Now, if they, and again, I folks, anybody from Xbox listening, please hire this man because he just came up with a brilliant idea. Just imagine the conversation that's going to happen in gaming where you're going to have people crying. Like, I know that you've seen people like Star Wars Theory, like, for instance, he's like one of my favorite Star Wars YouTubers. Like when Luke Skywalker was in The Mandalorian, that dude was crying. That's how much he loves Star Wars. People are going to see this happening. And if they redid that Mad World trailer to announce this Gears of War trilogy, people are going to go freaking ape shit, bro. Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, dude, imagine homeboy who put the tweet out. Was it Shadows? Come on, man.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that guy's he's gonna be in an emotional basket case.
Yeah, it's just so heavy because these themes, like, this is the thing. Xbox, people can say what they want, man, but they've been around for a long time and they have a lot of iconic shit. You know what I'm saying? They have a lot of iconic franchises that mean a lot to a lot of people, man. Like, I can't wait for that remake of Halo 1. I've been wanting that for so long. Like, I understand that they did the anniversary edition and they put it in the Master Chief
redone in Unreal Engine 5, yes. There, brother.
And now we know, I got to imagine that this is going to be the same situation where we know that they could just keep the halo that exists as the underlying engine, and then just cover it with the new Unreal, right? Because that's what they just did with Oblivion, right? So that in Oblivion way harder if you think about the creation engine and then what they have to make happen in that game for them to just be able to put on Unreal as the coat of paint. Come on, man. That's gonna be amazing, bro. Like that's gonna be amazing. I cannot wait. I mean, honestly, Gears of War, to be able to replay that in the fidelity of games today, man, it was already amazing back then. You know what I'm saying? Like it set the bar back then. It's literally the reason why the 360 was what it was, because it literally put the damn box on his back and made them up the power or the RAM or whatever it was that they had to add to it to make that game run the way they wanted to run it. And dude, what a beautiful game it's gonna be, and what an experience, man. Like I'm looking forward to you know, similar to how you and your brother did it. Obviously this wasn't you know, the same, but you know, Doodle and I got married.
I was literally going to say that you guys are going to be able to hang out together and play this game, and that is going to be awesome.
We did it. That's how. So the first,
that's so
cool. The 360 came out in 2005. That's the year I got married. So you know, when Gears came out, we played that together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like to go back. What was it? 2006, right? 2006.
Yes. Yep.
Like the first Gears drop. So to go back, you know, essentially 19 years and relive that moment and be able to sit there and just hang out with my wife and you know, play a game that we were playing alone in a 1-bedroom apartment. We were just sitting there in the living room playing that on a little ass TV, just playing that shit, and now being able to look at what we have and look at where we are 19 years later, look at all our kids and relive that moment. That's fucking crazy. I can't wait, man. That's gonna be so dope. That's gonna be
it's expected to happen again. You know, we kept hearing for the last couple of months, we've talked about this live on the air. This isn't like breaking NDAs or anything, but we've all heard it. Anyone that is close to the floor or close to the ground listening have heard the rumblings or the rumors that Xbox themselves have already said that this year, 2025's June showcase is going to up the ante over last year's. And I've said this publicly. How is that even possible? I, along with Hargeet China, who's in the chat, so shout out to him, were ass in seat. And we witnessed this, you know, happen in front of us. And they're saying that it's going to be better than last year's. And I say, wait a second, how is that even possible? And then you look at what's coming in 2026. And I know, you know, we're going to get on out of here and then catch up on Super Chats. But if you just look at what they could be showing at this show for next year, which is what they ultimately do on these showcases, right? You have State of Decay 3, Perfect Dark, you got Fable, you got the next Call of Duty, you got Gears of War E-Day. I mean, should I keep going, ladies and gentlemen? Like, if you thought that 2025 was ridiculous for your gaming backlog, that's just 5 games off the top of my head. That's not counting that you could get Clockwork Revolution next year. That's not counting that you could get Forza Horizon 6 next year. That's not counting what C Money just talked about, the Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition, which of course it'll be 20 years old, or is it 25 years old? I'm sorry, when it comes out next year. That is 8 first-party bangers, and there's still a bunch of others that we haven't even mentioned. Like, look, I'm sorry, folks. Whether they go third-party day and date or they take a couple of months, 6 months, or a year to get these games over to PlayStation, I'm going to tell you this right now. Next year, a lot of PlayStation gamers were expecting the Naughty Dog joint. That's coming 2027. You might have no games from PlayStation Studios next year What you will have, though, is an abundance of Xbox games. And somehow, with that, all of that said, Xbox is losing. Xbox is shutting the doors down. Xbox is not better. I don't understand the rhetoric of it, to be honest with you. I just literally, just off shooting from the hip, gave you 8 games that could be releasing next year, and every one of them is a AAA monster.
Facts. Yeah, there's really no comparison in ability of what the companies can do. They are so narrow-minded in their thoughts, like the ponies, because they think Xbox releasing games elsewhere is all they could do. Like, they like to liken it to like when Sega went third party, right? But Sega was broke. Sega closed up shop for their consoles because they couldn't afford it, and they focused on their third party output to make some money. To be clear, there's only one group of people who would be considered broke here, and that's Sony. Microsoft is furthest away from being broke, right? They just know how to make money. And unfortunately, for the people who are stuck in the past, and I get it, there's just people who can't move past the idea of it because their entertainment wasn't playing games, but instead going on Twitter and fighting their little war, right? That was their entertainment, not the games, right? Right now, Xbox is able to reach everyone in the world through their partner channels, and PlayStation has become one of their partner channels, right? That is where they distribute their games as well to all the countries that didn't want to buy an Xbox, but now are lining up to buy Xbox games, right? And they're doing all that while still being able to service their diehard Xbox fans who are Game Pass members, who purchase every console, who are always there. They get the same love and treatment because why? They're getting all these games day one in Game Pass. They're not taking it away from Xbox fans and Xbox owners. They're only giving more than they've ever given in all of history. If you were able to be an Xbox fan before, when they were only giving you 1 or 2 games a year, and mostly always towards the end of the year, if you could be a fan then, how could you not be a fan now, bro?
Yeah, I mean,
when you are getting more than literally any other first-party manufacturer of consoles is putting out. No one can compete. Go ahead, bro. I gotta take this.
No, it's fine. It's we're at a point where the conversation. I saw it in the chat again. Listen, PlayStation is selling consoles, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit! What a surprise!
Want them to do that.
It's the most popular console. Yes, it's selling. It's selling consoles. Okay. Yes, I we've talked about that, but that can't be it. That just cannot be your stake in the ground. I won the conversation. Take your ball and go home. Don't do that, because that's weak, right? That is a weak conversation. Console sales are not the end all. And Xbox, look what happened yesterday in a bit of a blip. It wasn't even a conversation there was so much going on positive for Xbox that it was a blip. On LG TVs have now become Xboxes 2022 and above, right? Yep. That's a big deal, because all you got to do is just take your controller and go. That's it. That becomes an Xbox customer. You didn't have to buy the box to get the games. You simply had to turn on your TV and just connect your wireless controller. And if you have Game Pass or you want to buy Game Pass, you can do that and you can play all these games. Like, that's a bigger deal. Now, granted, I'm sure Xbox would love to be in the position that Sony is, selling consoles and a service. But you got to think about this for a second. What's more important? And how many people are buying the console and buying games with that console? because you saw Matt Piscatella about a month and a half ago get assaulted verbally by the community because he said that 4% of gamers are considered the hardcore, and that the average gamer buys 1 to 2 games per year. What is the average gamer? That would be your PlayStation 4 and 5 gamer. They are the majority. They're not the minority.
Now are using that 1 or 2 game credit that they had on Xbox games.
Yeah, there you go.
Sadly for Ghost of Yote, they're only going to get purchased by the people that didn't already spend their money on the other console games that Xbox released over there, right? 1 or 2 games, that's all they're gonna do. And I'm telling you, Oblivion, I think it took one of those spots. Forza might have taken one of those spots. Indiana Jones might have taken one of those spots. Doom might take one of those spots. Outer Worlds might take one of those spots.
If the Gears of War collection gets on there, it's taking one of those spots.